Have you ever noticed that certain foods just feel right at certain times of the year? Spring salads, summer barbecues, autumn pies, and winter stews. It doesn't even have to be a whole meal. It could be something simple, like an ingredient. There's just something about certain foods that scream for their special season. Maybe it's nostalgia, culture, or just personal preference. For me, I feel like seeds are a summer food, but nuts are a winter food. I can't tell you why, but it just feels right. But when it comes to China, the undisputed king of winter cooking is cabbage. No fancy kale or spinach, just the good old humble Chinese cabbage. Today it's everywhere. Cheap, huge, survives the whole winter, and shows up in soups, stews, dumplings, noodles, basically every comfort food you can imagine. But cabbage isn't China's first king of winter. 700 years ago, that title belonged to another. In fact, for almost 2,000 years, another vegetable ruled the country. And then, in one dramatic climate change-powered food war, cabbage rose up and stole the crown. So how did this all go down? Part 1. The Old Vegetable King, the Slippery Leaf. Before cabbage became famous, China's favorite vegetable was something called kuicai, normally translated as mallow greens. It's like a leafy green that becomes slippery and silky when cooked. So what was the secret of mallow greens' success? Well, in ancient China, cooking oil was rare and expensive. So having a vegetable that naturally becomes soft, thick, and glossy when boiled was basically free sauce. And it grew in all seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. People could grow it when they had no refrigerators, no greenhouses, nothing. It was a sustainable vegetable that came with its own sauce. And so for 2,000 years, mallowed greens were China's undefeated vegetable champion. Ancient books always put it at the top of the best vegetables list. But then something changed. Part 2. The Little Ice Age. Around the 1300s, during China's Yuan Dynasty, temperatures started dropping. And not just in China, this was an international event. A long, very cold period lasting to the 1800s, sometimes called the Little Ice Age, hit the region. Suddenly, winters became longer, temperatures got lower, and the old vegetable king couldn't handle the cold. Mallowed greens stopped growing well in the freezing north. Farmers needed a new hero. And of course, that hero was cabbage. Part 3. The Rise of the Cabbage Empire. Cabbage had several superpowers. 1. It's extremely cold-tolerant. Cabbage looked at the freezing wind and said, "Do your worst, I'm built for this." 2. Massive harvests. A single acre of cabbage could produce 2 acres worth of mallow greens. Twice the food, twice the survival. 3. It's easy to store. You can dry it, pickle it, salt it, stack 10 heads in your kitchen and forget about them for months. With proper storage, cabbage is an ancient last forever food. 4. It tastes great. Writers from 1,000 years ago literally compared winter cabbage to luxury foods like honey sweet lotus root, tender lamb, and even bear paws. Chinese foodies loved cabbage long before hot pot and Chinese dumplings made it famous. Part 4. The end of the 2,000-year reign. By the late 1300s, northern China switched almost entirely to cabbage. Southern China already used cabbage in some fancy dishes, and it was growing in popularity. And mallow greens slowly faded from the center stage. And by the Ming Dynasty, even the famous medical writer Li Zijian wrote, "Long ago the mallow was king of vegetables. Now nobody eats it anymore." A 2,000-year empire had fallen. Part 5. The Legacy of the Old King. Even though mallow greens disappeared from most kitchens, its influence survived. That silky smooth, glossy texture Chinese people love in vegetables today, stir-fries that feel soft and velvety, the habit of thickening dishes with starch. Many food historians think that all that comes from 2,000 years of eating that old slippery vegetable. So, Next time you eat Chinese dumplings stuffed with cabbage, hot pot cabbage, kimchi cabbage, grilled cabbage, or even sauerkraut, just remember, you're eating the vegetable that topped the longest, most successful dynasty in Chinese history, and started the seemingly untouchable Cabbage Empire.